This is Steve Spurrier. You can join University of Florida Hall of Famer Shane Matthews and also a two-time SEC Player of the Year every weekday as he brings you all you need to know about the Florida Gators, including news, analysis, opinions, and some of the biggest names in
Saving money
sports.
feels
You can
right.
find him
Just
on
like when
Spotify,
things are packed
Apple
tight inside.
Podcasts,
Get auto
Google
insurance that fits
Podcasts,
your
or
budget
wherever you
and your
listen
needs.
to your favorite
Save up to
podcast.
10% when you
Or
bundle
you
auto
can
and
watch him
renters
live
insurance.
at
Get a
8
quote today.
a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter.
It's Friday. It is PodUp with Matthews in the morning, a live edition from the International Diamond Center Studios. Go by, check out the fine jewelry, watches, much more. You just browse around, looking at jewelry. They'll give you gift cards to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. As I said, it is Friday. You have JC and myself. JC, you're on the Titan MR hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Well, today is a victory for the people. I mean, once again, here we are, a victory for the people, and we are here to help everybody do better. And I tell you, I'm not starting off great. I couldn't light my fireplace. My creatine is spilled all over the place here. It looks like I've got just Johnson & Johnson baby powder everywhere. It's terrible. QB, this is the divisional weekend. We've got basketball coming. We've got cold weather football playoff games. I think this is going to be just a fantastic, eventful sports weekend, and I'm really excited about it. On Monday, we have a new president. That is fabulous news, thank God. And I've got the Allen Americans being represented here.
Who is that?
The Allen Americans, Allen, Texas.
Allen, Texas.
That is their hockey.
What are they, a AAA team?
That is their hockey team. Their minor league hockey team. I think they're in the Blackhawks organization, if I'm not. Wow. Anyway, so the Texans this weekend, how great would it be? How excited would you be if the Kansas City Chiefs got their tails kicked this week?
I wouldn't be happy at all.
Oh, you wouldn't?
No.
Oh, you're a Chiefs fan?
Yeah. I love
I'm not a Chiefs
Reed.
fan.
I love Pat Mahomes.
Well, I'm not really a Chiefs fan, QB. I got to be honest with you. I've kind of burned out on the Chiefs. They've had a lot of fun here in the last 3 years, and Mahomes is.
Why did you never get burned out of the Patriots then?
Oh, I did. I absolutely got burned out of the Patriots. I couldn't stand it. I mean, Belichick, Brady. You know, the Buffalo Bills fans talking about Belichick being overrated, and Brady. But at any rate, I'm sitting there last night, QB. I got to tell you, I'm sitting there last night watching TV, and we get this story that's coming down. I just lost it. Dadgummit. I had it on here. It really disturbed me, and it was about Torian Green, the Gator assistant basketball coach.
Well, he's not an official coach. He's part of the
he's part
player
of
development or whatever. Whatever. I got you.
And it just, this thing with this Title IX, the sexual conduct investigation just drives me crazy, because that might just be the last thing on earth I need to hear about as the Gators work their way through a very difficult SEC schedule with a real chance to having a huge year. And the last thing we need is a distraction with the coaches. Okay, I don't need that.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, I don't know. We have no information, so there's really nothing to comment about.
Well, you can get some of those crack newspaper guys you put on here 4 days a week to start working, and maybe
sometimes they know stuff and they don't want to talk about it. So they're not going to. They're not going to put it out here on my show. Maybe they will. I don't know.
Oh, why not?
We'll just see. I mean, I'm just saying. We'll see how it goes.
I know. But I'm just saying. Look, you want to be a superstar investigative journalist, and you don't even have to be an investigative journalist, but just break a story once in a while. That's all I'm saying. Jeez.
All right. So we can comment on that if you got any questions or
comments. I don't really care.
Yeah, we don't really have a whole lot to say.
But But it's out there, QB. It's out there. It's all over Twitter.
Mark says put Nancy Grace on it.
Nancy Grace, that is a blast there.
Yeah.
Wow. No, I don't want anything to go badly. We don't need it, man. This is the last thing University of Florida, UAA, or Scott Strickland needs. I swear to God. I mean, the student seat gate was bad enough for the Tennessee game. Now we got to do it. I mean, that was nothing in comparison to this, but who needs that kind of publicity, QB? Nobody
Yeah.
needs it. Nobody.
Yeah. All right. So, JC, I saw this regarding the NFL playoffs, which continue starting tomorrow.
Thank God.
Listen to this stat. Tell me
Yeah.
if you've heard of this. CJ Stroud now has more playoff wins than, listen, Kirk Cousins, Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Love, and Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
CJ Stroud has the same amount of playoff wins as Dak Prescott and Lamar Jackson.
Jeez.
Think
Lamar,
about that.
that is, and nobody talks about CJ Stroud in the same light, obviously, yet. Not yet, anyway. He's got an opportunity to really shake up the world. I think the guy is great. I mean, he was one of the top picks, obviously, in the draft year he went here just recently. And, at Ohio State, he was as good as they've ever had there. I truly believe he was. And think about that team they had, QB, that lost to Georgia on a fluke missed field goal with an 18-point lead before Marvin Harrison goes out. You got Marvin Harrison over here. You got Jackson Smith and Jigba over here. You got Travion Henderson back here. How in the world do you lose a football game? And CJ Stroud was an excellent college player. He's a very good pro. And
I bet if you went back and somebody did some research on this, the amount of first round wide receivers that Ohio State puts in year in year, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
So we'll continue our talk. We got a bunch of texts, but I saw this the other day. I took a screenshot. It cracked me up.
Yeah.
All right. So in 1970, West Virginia and William and Mary are playing a football game. Okay. You got Lou Holtz and Bobby Bowden, the coaches. In 1970, West Virginia would defeat William and Mary 42-7. Lou Holtz, who coached William and Mary, confronted West Virginia head coach Bobby Bowden of running up the score.
Oh, did he?
So Bobby Bowden told Lou Holtz that he would have a closer game if he recruited more Williams and less Marys.
That's a great story. That is a great story. Well,
I love that.
Yeah, I think that is
that makes me laugh.
That is fantastic. Well, he was full of a lot of good one-liners. He and Spurrier were that was quite an era in college football. Oh, there goes some deer. The deer are running across the fairway. Look at that. There's 10 of them. So, no, Bobby and Steve were great. Huge, fierce rivalries. You were a big part of that. Some of the hardest hitting football games in the history of football, not just Gators, Florida State. I don't know how people walked off the field in '92 in that game. But at any rate, it was a great era for Florida football, a great time. And, I guess, don't you have him and Urban up there at the Gridiron Grill?
Yeah, they're going to be from 4 to 6. Shelly and Jerry or the bartenders coaching Urban or signing pictures. It goes to charity. If you're interested, go up there and check them out.
Okay, Shelly brought shots to our tailgate one time. She was tailgating with some of her friends there before the Florida-South Carolina game. I'll never forget it. That was the year Spurrier and South Carolina beat Florida after the touchdown return, kickoff return for touchdown. And, man, she was into it. Shelly had a great attitude. I really liked Shelly. I was a big Shelly Myers fan.
Gator Josh on YouTube, brought to you by Quiet Pump, says, to your point about the NFL will find players. During the Broncos game, they talked about the Broncos right guard signing a nice contract. He should have been a Pro Bowler. He went to a D3 Wisconsin Whitewater. Yeah, the NFL, it's fascinating how they find players.
It is.
It really is. It really is. God, what else was I going to talk about? I had something else I wanted to bring up, but I can't remember. So we'll figure it out here in a minute. Oh, all right. So the playoff games. Let's go ahead.
You want to talk
by
about
the way, you laughed at my golf picks yesterday in the Peach Lake Dale picks.
I did.
I got two of them like in the top 12, by the way.
Did you? Oh,
yeah.
Well,
so do you have your notebook?
I got it.
Okay, you need to write down who you have and who I have since you didn't do this yesterday.
I did not.
All people listening, if you didn't check out our Peach Lake golf picks.
Go ahead.
For the Bob Hope Classic.
Yeah, the Bob Hope. It's out there.
4 different golf courses. Although this one golf course, did you watch any golf yesterday?
The Jack Nicklaus course. I think.
Did you see the bunker that's like 25 feet high?
Yeah, it's like something you see in Scotland. Yeah.
No.
Oh, it's high.
It's 5 times the size of Scotland.
Well, I've seen some big ones, but go ahead.
It's really like a wall that goes about 18 yards to 20 yards next to the green, and it's like 20 feet high.
Yeah, I saw that.
I saw multiple professional golfers that couldn't get out of it yesterday.
That's great. That's
All right.
wonderful.
So,
That's
JC, here are
great.
your competitors.
I love that.
Are
Okay.
you going to write them down?
I'm here. Let's fine.
Tony Finau.
Yeah. Yeah, got it. Yeah.
Can't read my writing.
I had Horschel.
You got Billy Horschel, Will Zalatoris,
Willie
Sam
Z,
Burns.
and Burns. God.
All right, here are my competitors.
You got some names here.
I got Michael Thorbjornsson, who's in like 8th place. I got Harry Hall, who's in like 12th.
Harry Hall.
Thompson's back there, but he's in contention. And Nico Echikavara.
It sounds like you got the gang. Okay, Avaria. I mean, you're going out there. I think that's great. It's not like, this tournament. What's in the field?
Well, Mark says that's an ugly looking course. I don't know which one you're talking about because they play on 3 different ones.
Yeah, they have a Pete Dye, a Jack Nicklaus, and then the one, the La Quinta. Yeah, it's wide open scoring there. It's a shooting gallery when they go out west until they get to the Genesis at Riviera in Los Angeles, which I'm not altogether sure is going to even happen. Right. That place is just burning.
So JC,
yeah.
I mentioned this because I got this text like multiple times the other day, and I'm going to see if I can find it because here it is right here. This gentleman from the 321 area code. You know where that is?
I can figure it out. Go ahead.
So he says fans are donating to NIL. Why do you not support NIL? You make money from sponsors that support NIL. Haven't heard JC talk about his NIL donation to Alabama, something fans would like to know. So I responded. I don't know if you heard my response.
I did.
You did or did not?
I think I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you like to respond about your Alabama squad?
Yeah. Well, when I am assured of a possible return on my investment, then I would be happy to see if it's a good deal for me, because I'm the one throwing the money out there. And that's the biggest question I've always had about this entire setup. Who in Michigan is giving this guy Underwood $10 million, or what group is giving $10 million? Who is giving this tatted up guy Beck in Miami $4 million to play football? And then when that happens, what is their ROI? In other words, I'd like to know how that's structured. Does he get free parties down at the club with Carson Beck and all the
you'll get a nice polo or something.
A polo, great. A $10 million polo is exactly what I had in mind, to make my net worth climb and hit new heights every day. That's just not where it goes for me, folks. And I understand that some people want to say, well, hey, dude, put your money where your mouth is. It's NIL. It's time to play. NIL to me is when the guy goes to Walter Jones used cars and says, hey, I got a AMC Pacer, an antique 1991 AMC Pacer for sale for $2,000. I can find the best deals at Walter Jones Automotive. I think you should too. I play quarterback for the Gators, and I endorse this play. Something like that. Sign cards, go and make as much as you can. But my God, this kind of money for Carson Beck to go play at Miami.
It's buying players. There's no name and likeness.
And this team right here is the best team money can buy, because, and God bless them, they're playing within the rules.
I can't believe you're wearing one of those hats.
Well, dude, I think Notre Dame is about this much above the bottom of the ocean for me in terms of teams I like, and Ohio State might be that much, but they're playing. Now I could come in here and just blow this up and say, let's be a loser today. Or I could say, hey, how about we go and beat the Florida Panthers, the Stanley Cup champions last night, and say we're from Michigan and live in Florida and be a Red Wings fan and go to all the Red Wings games that are in Florida, because, my God, we're not going to support the team in Florida. We're going to live in Florida, but we're going to support the team from Detroit. I get it. Listen, I grew up, if you grow up in another city and you want to go watch your team play in Florida because you live in the free state of Florida, I understand why you would do it. And I get why the Tampa Bay Lightning get pissed off when all the Blackhawk fans are there and all the New York Ranger fans are there, and yet they go make their money and their W-2s come from Hillsborough County. I understand that. But it doesn't make me feel good about it. So, sometimes when you can't beat them, join them, QB. Nobody's beating Ohio State. Nobody's beating this team.
No, they're not.
Notre Dame, they're going to need 5 turnovers, and they're going to have to really screw the pooch for lack of a better term, against Notre Dame for that game to be inside of 9 points. I can't see Notre Dame keeping up offensively. I love Notre Dame's defense. I think they're salty. I think this Jeremiah Smith is outstanding, but there's
Who is a buka, and they got so many dudes. They got
too many dogs on the OHIOs. Too many.
OHIO, yeah. All right, text on the Titan more text line before we get to our picks. Shane, yesterday you mentioned Riley Leonard maybe not being an NFL QB. I could not agree more, but like you said, who cares? The dude has made his multi-millions.
Yeah.
Got to go be a backup for a couple of years, make a couple more million.
Yeah.
Then go coach high school ball somewhere. That's
100%. What a great
He'll
deal.
go back to Fairhope, Alabama, down there and coach some Catholic school, probably.
I mean, could Carson Beck get $4 million in the NFL tomorrow? No, but he can at South Beach. But he sure as heck can down at Coral Gables. So
Carson Beck, even if he made a roster for 4 years in the NFL, ain't making $4 million.
Right. So I don't blame him one iota for doing what he's doing. What I question is, who is the guy with the money just throwing it in a blender? And what is his ROI? I'm just curious naturally.
Well, he probably wants to hang out on the sidelines and walk around. I paid for this team. I don't know. Some people like that.
Maybe I need to go get my journalism hat back, put it on, and start doing some work and start writing stories about how this all happens. You know,
should, JC. You
I
should.
mean, it would be
Grow
great
the mustache.
if somebody would. Well, yeah, that was classic. But I just don't get it. I'd love to know if this guy is.
You could be a guy that could stand out, grow the big mustache, wear like a plaid sport coat.
Yeah, I'd be like Ron Burgundy.
Ron Burgundy.
Yeah,
back in your day.
I guess it'd be a hit. It would be a hit.
Robert in Fort Myers says, "How about Josh Allen?" I did not know this.
Love Josh Allen.
He became the first NFL player in the last 15 years to become an All-Pro without an All-Pro teammate.
Wow. Now that's a new. See, I like stuff like that. Good job there in Fort Myers, Florida. We got some great viewers down in that area, Port Charlotte, Florida.
Jason in Milton, Florida wants an entire episode with JC talking like a Bills fan.
Wow, you gotta understand that the Bills are the best team never to win a Super Bowl. And that damn Belichick is such an overrated coach. My God, where would he be without that Brady? He's right. Where would he be without that?
He wants you to talk the whole time like that.
Well,
So when we do our picks,
I tell you what, man, I had the time of my life with those Bills fans last week. I do have a little soft spot in my heart for these Buffalo fans. They have been through the grinder. They're awesome.
So 3, 2, 1 is the space coach, and you can always remember that because it's a countdown. Like
3, 2, 1, go.
Boom.
Blast off. Elon Musk is now landing rockets at a speed faster, at a velocity faster.
He plays with these rockets like we hit golf balls.
Oh, he's a genius. My God, these videos of these boosters coming back to Earth and just being placed right in the launch pad is just miraculous. They can't do that in China. They can't do that in Russia. They can't do that in Brazil. They can't do that in Poland. They can do it in Florida and in the United States. Just think about that, Dave.
Silverback Concrete builds firm foundation for generations. You stand on it. We stand by it. Chris asked on Facebook Live, what do I think of Kyle McCord's NFL prospects? I think he's a good player. I
think he'll be in the top. He's possibly a first rounder, right?
Yeah.
I mean, could be this quarterback class. It's kind of, I don't know. How would you qualify this quarterback class? What would a first round number be for you on an over under? Because we like to bet about everything. 3.5, 4
under.
Quarterbacks under.
I don't even know who's in it other than Cam Ward, Kyle McCord. Who else?
Oh, well, your guy Sanders, your guy Milroe, your guy.
Milroe is not going to. Well, he is going to go.
Don't say that, QB.
He's going in the first round. I know. Somebody's going to get fired over it, though.
We saw Anthony go in the 4th pick. For the love of God, of all things holy, Anthony Richardson. The Indianapolis Colts are on the clock. The Indianapolis Colts pick with the 4th pick in the NFL draft. The Indianapolis Colts take Anthony Richardson, quarterback, University of Florida. Yay!
What if the Colts drafted Jalen Milroe? They should run the split backs and put those two dudes at tailback, and they'd be pretty good.
I mean, why not? Yeah, it's great. Poor Tommy Frazier of Nebraska must be thinking, man, if I had only just lived in the 2021, 22, 23, 24 era, I'd be a first-round draft pick. Remember Tommy Frazier, Nebraska?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do remember. He's still running.
He's still running and scoring touchdowns for the Huskers. That's probably the last time they were worth a damn. QB, are we going to do our football before or after the break?
We're going to do the football picks right now. Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's #1 choice for dentistry at Port Charlotte surrounding areas.
Zach.
Go visit them at peachlanddental.com. JC, muscle milk. Are you getting stronger and faster?
30 grams of protein. You got to watch your calcium. Zero sugar. This is the stuff. And then I've got this before we go. The creatine. This is going to get me to work my ass off in that gym because I get tired. And it used a little funnel to put it in. I made a holy mess here. So I'm working it, man. I'm down to 183. I'm trying to get lean. And I look at myself in the mirror every morning, QB. It's great. I get on the scale.
How do you look in the mirror, JC?
I look right at it, and it looks right back at me. And I go, damn, I kind of like this. I like this. This is a lot better because last May I was a fat pig, and I was. And I didn't like it. And it woke me up. I got a picture. You remember the before and after deal? Yeah. That before picture of me is hideous. How
about we put it on the screen here?
You know what? During the break, I'll go get it.
Well, we don't have to do it today. Let's do it next week.
All right, I'll get the before.
We'll make everybody wait through the weekend for this.
It's high anticipation.
So you're going to give us the before you changed to like today or yesterday.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is 30 degrees. I say, in the spirit of the playoffs this weekend, I decided to come out here and freeze. 38 degrees is not 8 degrees. I understand, but this is what we got in North Central Florida. I got a white fairway out here. It's beautiful. Okay. All right, so let's start.
Peachland Dental picks. Let's go.
Yeah, the Houston Texans really surprised everybody by beating the Chargers. They were not really thought of as a team that would advance past the first round, and they played some nasty Will Anderson-led defense with that guy, Shahir, whatever his name is, who killed Trevor Lawrence. Back in the secondary, they are
that dirty player they got.
Yeah, they're nasty back there on defense, and they're going to go after Mahomes. And I've heard people just say, "I hope he gets after that Kansas City backfield." The Chiefs are rested; they're ready to go. Nobody's delusional thinking that Kansas City probably won't win this game. But I'm taking the Houston Texans with the 8 points in this game because I think we're looking at an under. And I think we're looking, even though the total's 41.5, I think we're looking at an under and a hard-hitting, very physical game in very cold Kansas City.
I laugh at Tony's comments.
What Tony
I will take the Chefs.
What did Tony? I want to hear what Tony said.
It has something to do with my sponsor reads that the NFL teams use that as pregame hype videos.
Yeah, well, you've got an amped up enthusiasm.
I know. I'm so excited when I read those.
Dude. I love it. It's like you woke up in the morning and said, I'm going to throw the energy right out there and I'm going to expand my advertising voicing skills. And you did. Very impressive with the commercial breaks that we have on the show. Houston, you're taking the Chiefs minus the 8. Total's 41.5. Washington that night plays in a non-weather arena where the Lions are waiting for them. They've had 2 weeks now to get themselves healthy, but they are laying 9.5. The Commanders were in a very physical game with Tampa Bay last week, but they brought that energy that I think they will also bring to Detroit. It is hard not to just take the Lions with a 9.5 point spread, but I love Jaden Daniels. And I think Jaden Daniels is going to keep it inside of 10 points with the Commanders. And they're going to stay with the Lions. I do not see a blowout here.
I like the Lions to win the game, but I'll take the Redskins to cover. Okay. I'm with you. I think people still don't realize how beat up the Lions defense is.
They are trash.
They shut down the Vikings, but
they got after that.
It's going to hurt them running the football.
Well, you over pursue on Jaden Daniels to see where that gets you. The Lions game, this game is 55.5 QB. That's a huge number. You know this, 55.5.
Especially in the playoffs.
Wow, that's a big number, man. And you know what? I would be willing to say that that's going over that total because we're going to see points. This is the Lions don't fool around with field goals. Nobody is kicking a field goal in this game. Campbell won't kick one unless it's 4th and 20, and Dan won't kick one for the Commanders. They just don't kick field goals. This is going to be a touchdown or nothing game. I like the over, and I like the Commanders. You take the Commanders. Sunday, we go to snowy Philadelphia. They apparently are expecting an inch of snow. And the Eagles are waiting for my Rams, who looked really good on a warm weather, neutral site against those Vikings, which is great to see because as I grew up, the Vikings always beat my Rams with that Fran Tarkenton pain in the ass. But the Rams are getting 6.5. I gotta say, if I'm a neutral watcher of this and I look at that Philadelphia defense, when I see what Saquon Barkley did to them last time he played, I think he ran for, and this is no misquote here, I think he ran for over 225, 240 yards against the Rams. He had 2 70-yard runs against the Rams, Barkley did. I just think it's a bad matchup for my Rams. I'm going to take if I were betting this, I would take the Eagles and lay the touchdown.
I will take the LA Rams. I don't care what the weather's like. It does not matter really.
Okay. All right. I hope you're right.
The reason I'm taking the Rams,
I hope you're right. They are hot.
But I'm taking the combination. I said it the other day on the program. Sean McVay, Matt Stafford over Kellen Moore, Jalen Hurts.
Okay. And I think you have something there, but I just hated the way that matchup went the last time they played.
Well, I don't care about what happened last time.
That's right. And the Rams were not healthy then either. They are healthy and they are fast. And this guy,
they're getting a touchdown.
They are getting 6.5. And this kid Verse from Florida State, along with the other one, Fisk from Florida State. These guys were great picks for the Rams, who had some high draft picks finally after 6 years of giving up all their draft picks to get some of the players that helped them win the Super Bowl a couple years ago. They finally had a good draft, and they picked up this Jared Verse and Braden Fisk, and they are nasty on defense. They get after you on defense. So maybe, they'll hit Hurts and they'll keep this game within reach. Baltimore,
watching Jalen Hurts the last, I know he was out a couple
seems a little slow. He seems a little off.
No. But watching him play this year, he's still a good runner. Don't get me wrong, but he looks like he's not put on weight, but he looks like he's just gotten slower.
He does seem to move a little bit slower. That's exactly right. Yeah, and I don't disagree with that. He's a strong kid, very strong. But I agree with you there, QB. He doesn't seem as elusive as maybe he was in the past. He's looking to throw more. The game of the weekend is clearly, without question, the one up in Buffalo. This game has two teams that both would be good enough to win the Super Bowl, I think. And that's Baltimore and Buffalo. And it is going to be absolutely bone hard, cold up there in Buffalo. There won't be a lot of wind, though. There won't be any snow. So that's the good thing. They're just going to have to bundle up. I don't know. Lamar and Josh Allen, this is the MVP discussion, QB. And, if Josh didn't have a slow start to the season, I think they would have given him the MVP. But I think everybody's leaning toward giving it to Lamar. But regardless, the game is what matters. And this is where Buffalo has its chance to try to get back to the Super Bowl via one more win by winning a home game in their home building, Trimark, at the BLO. And I like the Bills, man. I'm going to go with Buffalo at home. If this game were in Baltimore, I might think twice about it. But you got Milano, you got a healthier defense, and you've got Josh Allen. And as far as I'm concerned, he's the best quarterback in the NFL. There is no question. He's better than that Mahomes, pain in the ass Mahomes. He's better than that Lamar. He is the best quarterback in the NFL. There is no question it's Josh Allen. You have to be a freaking idiot and half dead not to think Josh Allen is the best quarterback.
So Andy wants to know who has more pressure on them Sunday night. This is on Facebook Live, brought to you by Melon Law. Or Josh?
Yeah,
I would say Lamar.
You would? Yeah. Well, he's going to be the MVP. As much as I would have voted for Josh Allen, I think Lamar will be your MVP again. And he's got the numbers to deserve that, of course. And without him, Baltimore's nothing. And
listen to this stat.
Yeah.
Robert in Fort Myers again.
Yeah.
He's our statistician.
I like this guy, Robert.
This is the Titan More text on. He says, staying with Buffalo, the last time the Buffalo Bills were a home underdog in a playoff game was 1967 during the AFL days.
1 point. I mean, okay, that's a good stat, and it makes sense. it's been popping between both teams at one point. It's basically a coin flip, but I like that stat. And once again, good work in Fort Myers. Must be it's a Friday in Fort Myers.
So I love what Lamar's done. I love Derrick Henry. I like John Harbaugh. I like the way the Ravens play.
Yeah.
But I played 2 years for the Buffalo Bills.
Right.
Not that I give a damn. But
you were there.
I should pull down one of my helmets up there.
I
should have worn my Buffalo helmet today.
I mean, why wouldn't
I don't even know if I can get it on.
Well, do this next week. If they beat the Ravens and they go to Kansas City, you throw that Bills hat on. And I'm going to get a Bills hat myself because
not a hat, a helmet, Jason.
I mean, throw the helmet on.
Hats.
Throw the helmet on, and I'll put the hat on.
So I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills at home.
Okay. Well, and this is a situation where the people up there, this is what they got. This is it. I mean, the Sabres suck. They got no baseball. They've got no soccer, really. This is it. 51.5 is the total. I'd be tempted to go under in this case, in this game. Don't listen. James Cook is another guy you can't forget about. He's had a very good year. He is fast. They love James Cook. So the Bills need James Cook to have a big game as well. And defensively, they're healthy. That's the thing about Buffalo is that when they're healthy up front and on defense, they are as nasty as any team in the NFL. So we'll see. It's going to be a great game. 6:30 Eastern. I mean, that's the game we're all waiting for, really.
Electronics World, integration and design specialist for smart home automation and entertainment. Affordable local installation service and support. Go check them out.
I mean, Cook.
We're going to take a quick time out. We're going to come back. We got a little bit more JC, believe it or not.
Good. And, the people win, QB. The people win.
We got some text to get to. We're going to talk college basketball as the Gators host the Longhorns. And there's a couple of games, really intriguing games in the SEC. You're watching and listening to PodUp with Matthews in the morning from the International Diamond Center Studios. We'll be right back. Our premium sponsors are Campus USA Credit Union, International Diamond Center, Meldon Law, QC Kinetics, Dave & Buster's, UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, JF Hayden Craft Liqueurs, Bishop's Pitmaster Barbecue, Florida Cracker Kitchen, Los Linderos Tequila. Gridiron sponsors are Baker Sporting Goods, Cogent Bank, Comfort Temp, Electronics World, Florida Victorious, Gallo Car Wash, Miapa Latin Cafe, Peachland Dental, Quality Plumbing, Ruse Ogre State Farm, Silverback Concrete, 84 Lumber, Big Meals Cheesesteak, Celebrate Primary Care, Dowling Sign, Gator Bait Media, Gator Dominoes, Ironwood Golf Course, Okido America, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, UF Bookstores, Nest and Wow, MG&A Wealth Management. Watch and listen to us live on Facebook and YouTube. Listen to the podcast whenever on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. To become a sponsor, call my man Freddie at 352-284-3733.
Hi there, this is Coach Steve Spurrier, and I want to let you know that by popular demand, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill's delicious brunch is now served in a premium buffet. You have spoken, we have listened, and we're now serving Gainesville's only elevated buffet, complete with an omelet station, ginger sage chicken sausage, shredded short rib, and of course our chicken and waffles. Plus, you can enjoy bottomless mimosas and Bloody Marys. So join us every Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 3 for the best brunch in town.
What's up, everyone? I'm Mike Pouncey, and this is my twin brother, Marquise Pouncey, and this is Life After Football.
Let's go. We are the owners of Tropical Distillery, and JF Hayden's is our liqueur brand.
We have 5 different flavors: a mango, a lychee, an espresso, citrus, and key lime pie. We pride ourselves on not only being a Florida-made brand, but also a cocktail solution. With that being said, cheers,
and go Gators.
The most important thing I learned from my father was work ethic and integrity. Never veer away from integrity, even if it costs you money.
International Diamond Center owner Keith LeClaire.
The core value for IDC is to protect the customer.
That means offering the largest selection, uncompromising quality, the strongest warranties, and honest guidance from experts who are not paid on commission. International Diamond Center at Celebration Point. Online, shopidc.com.
Welcome back to the International Diamond Center Studios.
It's Jim
Florida
Kelly.
Crackers, the brand for original food and great food and Southern hospitality in the center of the universe. Brooksville, Florida, floridacracker.com. Let's go, Buffalo.
Buffalo, let's go, Buffalo. Hey, hey, hey,
All right.
hey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was
You miss
miserable.
wearing that. You miss,
Helmets are miserable.
you miss wearing those helmets, don't you?
Yep, I should have brought out the, I don't have it. It's in a closet, the old white one with the old
Yeah.
buffalo on the side.
Look like Joe Ferguson.
Yep, we wore that twice, I think.
This
When I
great old quarterback. Well, Josh wears, I mean, they wore that last weekend. If I'm
No, that's not I mean, the color is, but it had the old buffalo just standing.
the guy standing there.
Yeah.
Like he's yeah, by the way, PETA is all over Bevo. They want Bevo off the field back in
They
the
can kiss my ass.
prairies.
Bevo's
Right,
the greatest damn.
He is the
mascot.
best. They think it's cruel to Bevo to go to the game. I think it's cruel not to go to the game. What the hell's Bevo got to do? He loves watching the Longhorns play football. That's what he's there for.
Yeah.
That's what he is. That's why he was born, QB.
Yeah.
That's
Chris
why.
says he couldn't believe how small the pouncies are in our commercials. They've taken very good care of themselves. We sometimes and this is not just in the NFL, but college as well. These linemen either get really, really big or they trim down.
Yeah.
Well,
We have a friend that lost 75 pounds. I mean, he's 260.
He's about 265.
65. Yeah. I mean, he was playing at 330.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet you he feels a lot better. Yeah.
So
Tough carrying that weight. I used to weigh 214. I love the fact that I'm nowhere near that. But
I
I
weigh
was
210 right now. I'm 30 pounds heavier than my playing weight.
Yeah, but you're 6'3", QB. You should weigh that. All right, so basketball is going to take over tomorrow, and I think we're going to get back to the home court theme of dominance in the SEC. This conference is beating each other's fanny all up and down the court here, home and away. We've had some home teams lose. Our theme is that if you play at home, typically on a weekend or during the week, I should say, you're going to have a big advantage, but it hasn't necessarily always gone that way. I think this weekend we get back to that theme, and that theme starts in Kentucky with Alabama playing at Kentucky at noon to start it off. Alabama's coming off a loss where they only produced 64 points, which was a shocking loss to Mississippi. Credit to Mississippi and Chris Beard. That's a team that's going to be highly ranked by the end of this ranking week. They're 21 now. They'll likely be closer to the low teens or near 10. I think Mississippi is a team to watch out for. They are playing at Mississippi State, who's lost 2 in a row.
I like the dogs at the hump.
That's going to be a big crowd again at the hump. That'll be 2 in a row for them to sell out that place. They had Kentucky in the house last week, lost by 5. Great game, fun to watch. So Alabama, Kentucky, Mississippi at Mississippi State. And then the Auburn Tigers, the number 1 team in the country without Johnny Brooms, going into Georgia. And Georgia's a team that can't throw it in the ocean on the road, but at home they can beat you. And just ask Kentucky. Auburn is at Kentucky. Auburn's at Georgia, and Georgia's at home. That's a 1 o'clock game. And then at 3 o'clock, Tennessee at Vanderbilt. Seems like we're getting some really good matchups, interstate matchups here. Mississippi, Mississippi State, Tennessee, Vanderbilt. And then you've got Texas and Florida at 4 o'clock, man. Sell out the O-Dome, get in there and raise hell. Texas won their first game in the league, beating Oklahoma this week. They are now coming to Florida. The Gators coming off a loss to Missouri. It's going to be a great opportunity to get back on the winning track and get some of these distractions with Torian Green and all that out of our system for the time being and win a basketball game at number 5 in the nation.
I like the Gators to bounce back. I like Kentucky to win at home against Alabama. I think Georgia's going to upset Auburn.
Yeah.
And I like Ole Miss to get beat by Mississippi State.
And then we have
those are my upset picks.
Yeah, those are good. And then LSU, Texas A&M. We have South Carolina, Oklahoma, both looking for, I think, their first win in the league. And then Arkansas is playing at Missouri. There'll be a big crowd there. Missouri and Arkansas have a border war. That's
where's the Arkansas-Missouri game, JC?
That game is in Columbia. It's in Como. And
Arkansas is 0-4 in the league.
They are struggling. Calipari's thinking to himself, what have I gotten myself into?
Well, pretty much his entire team, except for a few players, played at Kentucky last year. It's not like he walked in and
Yeah.
He brought players with him. I just don't think he's a great coach.
You don't
Personally.
you don't think he is?
I don't. I do not think he's a great coach. I think he's okay. I think he's a great recruiter.
Got quite a record.
Yeah, I mean he's had a bunch of lottery picks, JC. Hell, you could have coached him.
But that's part of coaching, getting those guys to come.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying from an X's and O's standpoint, I think a lot of the basketball people that know X's and O's will tell you he's not a great X's and O's coach.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, Kentucky kind of sells itself too. Let's keep that in mind.
Yes.
When you get these players that, yeah, I'll play at Kentucky. Why wouldn't I? So yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, listen, this is going to be a weekend, and I'm not sure here in the North Central Florida area today is going to be a glorious day. But this weekend, I've been told,
it's not going to be good.
I've seen it's going to be very wet, rainy, and nasty. So this is a great time to fire up the fireplace, get something going in the crock pot. You got to get the crock pot to smell up the house. And then you want to get the TVs. If you don't have 3, go today and insert 2 more TVs into your house. Have 3 TVs rolling in the living room and get to watching. And get to the Hard Rock Sports app and get to betting. And then you're going to have a great weekend. Forget the rain. Go to church on Sunday, all right? And then get ready for another big week. And then get ready for a Baltimore-Buffalo game Sunday night. What could be better than this weekend right here?
Text on the Titan Mark text line from Jimmy. He says, guys, I'd like your thoughts. I know y'all have discussed it and people around the country discussed it, but with the 12-team playoffs in college football, will they make changes, and what would your changes be? Because these 2 teams wouldn't even be in the championship game if they had the old format.
Yeah, it's true.
A lot of information there from Jimmy.
Well, so the first change they're going to obviously have to do is something with the seeding. I think they need to reseed. I think if they're going to expand to 16, which the talk is after next year, they will expand to 16. You're going to have more on-campus games in the first round for sure. And then you can incorporate these silly bowls on the neutral sites. But I'm all for more conference, or rather more home games. And I'm also for reseeding the teams. I mean, you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm laughing. Norris, first of all, I'm going to get to the funny one here in a second. Norris on Facebook Live says, Shane, do you still have the black cleats you wore at Florida? You should put them in Spurrier's restaurant. I do have those, by the way, somewhere in a box. The great Chris Patrick, the longtime trainer that was at UF for 50-something years, used to have them in his office. And when he retired, he gave them to me. And they're stuck in boxes like all my other crap for the most part. But yeah, I'll try to find that one day.
For as long as I've known you here in the last 10 years, you've had those boxes full of crap.
Yeah. Would you like to come clean them out? Because I do not want to do it.
Yeah.
North Florida Bear on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Pump, says casino on Saturday and church on Sunday to ask for forgiveness.
No, I'm not forgiving. What I need to ask for forgiveness for? I'm not committing a 10th commandment sin here. What? It's my money. And it's what I would ask for forgiveness if you overpay for a house. I would ask for forgiveness if you overpay for a stinking car that loses half its value. That's when I would start asking for forgiveness. But I mean, listen, man, free will in this world. That's what I believe. And I'm a Catholic, and I'm going to root for Notre Dame over Ohio. But you know what? Ohio has Catholic players too, I bet. Maybe not as many, but I'll bet you there's a couple Catholics on that Ohio.
I bet there ain't a whole lot of Catholic players on the damn Notre Dame team.
Right.
Okay, let's be honest.
Exactly. But Marcus Freeman, he's really done something there.
He's good. He's great. I mean, he's 38 years old. You know what's going to be interesting is because I believe the Bears are going to interview him once the game's over.
Yep. And
he may say, you know what, I'm out of here. I don't want to have to deal with this.
He might, he can name his price tag in Chicago, and he's got I think the Bears are a team with a foundation of really good talent there. And I think with the right leadership, this team can win some football games. And I wouldn't be surprised if Mike McCarthy is their coach either. He's going to get interviewed.
I love their skill guys on offense. Love them.
Right. And don't you think Mike McCarthy would do well offensively, calling plays with Caleb Williams? I think he'd be okay.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be better than what they've had.
Oh my God, it'd be more structured and more organized. But yeah, the Bears are a disaster. But getting back, I don't think it's a sin to go and gamble. I don't believe it is. I never have. I never thought that. I think it's a sin to steal your money so I can go and gamble. That would be a sin.
Asa says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mellon Law, they need to go to a full 16 teams. That way nobody gets a bye. You seed number 1 versus number 16, number 2 versus 15, so on, just like the NCAA tournament. Strength of schedule has to be taken into account.
Yeah.
You have to play at least 4 or 5 ranked teams. I wouldn't have a problem with that. They were talking about, getting a bye should help you. I don't know if it does or not. I mean, obviously it was proved this year that it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. That's why 16 is coming, and that's one reason why. Listen, it's not just a bye; it's a month off. Forget the bye. The teams that played in the first round had a bye too. They didn't have to play after the championship weekend. And by the way, each team is going to get something like 18 to 20 some odd $1 million. Notre Dame doesn't have to share any of that because they're not in the conference. Right. So get happy with it today, Notre Dame. I got a feeling we're not going to be seeing them back for a while after this year, especially if Marcus goes to the Chicago Bears. But we're just making rumors out of that. And I think Notre Dame is going to play hard. They're going to have a great crowd there in Atlanta. But, man, Ohio State it's the favorite, and that's a big spread. Well, we going to pick that on Monday, QB? I guess we'll pick it on Monday.
We'll just pick that on Monday. All right, JC, before we get you out of here real quick, on the Titan Amar text line,
sure.
This is from George. He says, JC, being an Alabama fan, are you concerned at all how the season went this year, looking at next year?
Yeah, I mean, losing 4 games is absurd, and it's not what the standard is. And Alabama is now being marginalized into the rest of the world now because of the way football works with NIL and transfer portal, specifically with transfer portal. And so Kalen DeBoer's got his work cut out for him, and I hope people are patient with him because I do believe he's a good coach. He did go to the national championship game with the Washington Huskies. He has won games. He's beaten Oregon and Dan Lanning. He's a good coach. He knows what he's doing. I believe that. He's going to get the right quarterback. He's going to get his quarterback in the system, and then I think Alabama will be fine. Let's keep in mind, this is the first year after the greatest coach of all time, and 17 years of that left. And you cannot expect the same result. Otherwise, you're not realistic. So, yeah, I'm concerned. No, I don't think they're going to be mediocre. I think they're going to continue to be part of the gold standard of college football. This just was not their year. Okay, fine. We go on to 2025. I'm not too worried about it. Now, if he tries another 8-4, 9-4 year, then, yeah, I think people will start. That's just the standard there. You don't go 9-4. You don't lose to Vanderbilt. You don't lose to a bad Oklahoma team. You beat Georgia. That's what you do. And that's what they did, but they also lost those other games. And they beat Auburn. I mean, they always beat Auburn. That's their biggest rival. So that's another good thing that happened. But you can't lose 4 games, and you can't lose to Vanderbilt. And guess what? Vanderbilt and Oklahoma come to Tuscaloosa. So if you're an Alabama fan, get excited about 2025. New players, new quarterback, new season. That's how I would approach it.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question, though.
This Day in Sports brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. Puts a star power to work in your financial life. Campus USA Credit Union. 1995, the LA Rams announced they are moving to St. Louis.
I remember.
Yeah.
Won a Super Bowl there with a great.
All right, JC, last text. There's another text here.
Okay.
For you on the Titan Lamar and imaging text line. Always leave out the imaging now that that's part of their.
I'm going there Monday, by the way. I'm going to.
What are you getting? The whole body, JC?
I'm getting a 2 screens on my prostate.
Oh, thank
you. Really excited about that.
Thanks for letting us know.
Well, you asked.
I did ask.
I appreciate the question, but I hope it's all right. I hope I'm not like dying right now, but I don't think I am.
No,
I don't feel
think
bad.
You're going to be okay.
I don't feel bad.
All right. So this is from Will. He says, JC, as much as you've traveled, have you ever attended a game in Buffalo?
No, and that's a bucket list, and I'm ashamed of myself for saying no. I should have been there already. It's one of the greatest places on earth. This weekend, it could be the greatest place on earth, and I can't wait to see how it works out.
You need to go.
I do.
To the old before. I don't know if they move into the new building next year or 2 years.
It's next. So next,
you got to go to that place because it's kind of a dump, but it's
absolutely
cool.
It's their
cool.
dump.
And then JC, I will tell you.
Yes.
I know you're going to partake with several of the Buffalo fans.
100%. I might even jump off the
alcoholic. Do not jump off the top of a bus onto a table.
I'll break my back. Yeah.
You will hurt yourself.
No, I won't. And that's good advice. But, I don't use good judgment sometimes when I'm with these people. But I have a good time. And I had a good time at the Beau Rivage in Biloxi, Mississippi with the boys from Vero Beach who got on the Sun Country Bender to fly into Biloxi and rooted for Buffalo there, upstate New Yorkers. And I'm really hoping they can get through and get to Kansas City or play at home against Houston. That's what I'm hoping for. And
could you imagine if Buffalo
and Detroit
wins?
And Detroit.
The Texans go to Buffalo, and then the Texans somehow beat Buffalo.
Oh, please. Oh, my God. Nightmare situation.
That would be terrible.
We all want the America. America wants the Bills and the Lions. That's what America wants. And that's what I hope we get.
The Bills and the Lions fans in New Orleans.
I mean, could you imagine? Now, it would be just too good to be real, and let's hope it happens.
Okay, I was not aware of this. Lee knows more than I do on YouTube. Brought to you by Quality Plumbing. Says Shane, comment on that. Steve Spurrier Jr. will be added to the UF offensive coaching staff very soon.
Really? Oh,
I didn't know that. It'd be great.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, bring Bubba home.
Sure, I think he'd love it.
All them damn grandkids can go over to. I wonder what they call. I'm gonna ask Coach what they call him and Jerry. What do you think he goes by?
Well, Bubba, I mean.
You think he just goes old school? I'm granddaddy.
Granddad. Papa
Grandpa.
Bub. Papa Bub.
No, I'm talking about what the grandkids call Coach Spurrier.
Oh, Coach Spurrier. Well.
I bet he goes by Grandpa.
Paul. Yeah, probably Paul. Yeah, that sounds like a Tennessee thing. Yeah, Paul. Yeah. Yeah. Grandpa. Hey, Paul. G. Paul. It's a big family. It's
he's got what, 17 grandkids?
It's an empire. God bless them. Be fruitful and multiply, baby. And that's what. Hey, and God bless them. They've got great kids, great grandkids. I've had the pleasure of knowing that family. So it's exciting for him if he gets to come back to Gainesville. I think that's where their hearts are. Their hearts are always in Gainesville. Even when they were in South Carolina, their heart was in Gainesville. I believe that. And it's great that that's where they're going to end up, or where he's going to end up. Coach Spurrier, of course, and Jerry. So,
all right, good work today, 100%. JC.
Yeah, I tried, man. It's
overtime for JC. Overtime.
I'm not cold anymore. I'm all warmed up. I'm ready to go work out. I'm ready to go throw some iron around, and then I'm ready for my MRI on Monday.
All right, good stuff. Have a good weekend, JC.
You got it.
Miss JC, join us on the Titan MR hotline, courtesy of Comfort Tip. Injuries occur whenever and however, and it's never convenient. For sprains, strains, and minor fractures, UF Health Ortho Care makes it convenient for you. 7 days a week, including evenings. Walk-ins are welcome. Go check them out. UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Appreciate everybody chiming in today. Have a great weekend. We'll recap all the sporting events and the Peachland Dental picks on Monday. Take care, folks.
Have a good weekend.